Alright, guys, welcome back to my show. This is episode 3 of this podcast series, and today we have a friend of mine, Pasang Lama. He's an entrepreneur, philanthropist. He's got many businesses, and then he's also a filmmaker. He's a great filmmaker. We're working on a project.
Fistful of Rage.
It's a short fight film. It's a good film. Go check it out. It's many pages. I'll link it down below.
Check it out.
Check it out. So, Pasang Dai, how are you?
I'm good, bye.
Thanks for the coffee, though.
No problem. My pleasure.
Okay, so what did you have for lunch?
I went for breakfast birthday lunch
Okay.
at Old House in Dharamag.
Okay.
Had a nice pork chop.
Pork chop.
It was really good. Go check it out if you have ever happened to be in Dharamag.
Yeah. Okay. So you are a filmmaker.
I made one movie.
An award-winning movie. By the way.
Award-winning movie. Well, we won 2 national awards out of 7. Best cinematography, best editing. It was back in 2015.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. The name's Tigrana. It's a psychological thriller. If you are into that movie, go check it out. It's people have liked it. It was not a commercial success, unfortunately, but people who watch it.
It's good. It's really good. I don't watch Nepalese movies, but it was really good.
Thank you, bro.
So,
Thank you.
so please go and check it out. And you were saying that a guy told you that it's a copy of a Hollywood film, right? The people are cute.
When the trailer came out, the Nepalese they passed the judgment before watching the movie and everything. So when the trailer came out, this looks like a copy of this, looks like a copy of that, and we were like, just please go check it out, don't make
criticize
before the movie is even out, and people didn't find it as any copy. I think the script is very original. I casted a German girl that spoke fluent Nepali, and
how did you find her?
It was by chance, actually. I was thinking of casting a half American, half Nepalese girl, half and half, but it was very hard to find that. So I found a Caucasian girl that speaks fluent Nepali and that had an acting background. She acted back in high school. So we auditioned, and she was great.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you made a lot of films, right? You went to film school as well.
I didn't. I made one feature movie.
You made one feature movie?
One feature movie. I did a couple of music videos back in Miami. But I did a short movie back in Miami, a documentary. But ever since I came here, I've been into business. And I've been busy with that. I'm thinking of getting back to movies. But, with movies, you got to give time.
It takes a lot of effort.
Yeah. It takes a lot of energy from you. It was a great experience. But... and sometimes you need the money, man.
Sometimes.
You can't survive without the money. So.
You can't.
Yep.
So you made a lot of short films. You made a featured film which won awards. So what's that one thing that makes a good movie, or what's that one thing that breaks a bad movie?
Well, in Nepal right now, what's working is a comedy movie, and now a romantic movie. In Nepal, if we're talking in terms of Nepal, right? In Nepal, you need, there's a formula, I think.
Don't hit the table, it's too loud.
Sorry. So in Nepal, I think you need a really good hit song, right? B, you need a face, which I learned later. That you need a really well-known face to sell the tickets, to get the foot in the door. C, you need a very good distribution company, which we lacked. Our movie didn't get distributed that well. That was the downside of our movie. Those 3 things are very important. Besides
good content.
Good content. In addition to the good content, you need all these 3 to have a good formula for a movie to work. In terms of breaking bad, what was the question?
What makes a good movie, or what breaks a bad movie?
Let me re-answer that again. What I answered before is to make a movie work in Nepal.
Okay.
Like to make money, because that's the ultimate goal, right? To make money. To make a good movie, obviously the content, the story has to be good. The story needs to keep the audience at the edge of the seat. They cannot. If people start looking at the watch, you're looking around. When you watch a movie, then you lost. Yeah, then you lost your audience. You have to, grab them and just grasp it. If you don't have that, then you break you break the movie. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you take care of Jamie's bubble tea as well?
Yes, we. That's the reason why I came back. Actually, I was came to set up a business, Jam's Bubble Tea, for my sister. So ever since I've been managing it since 2000, I think 12 was it? And yeah, it's going well. We have 5 locations.
Yeah.
We supply to about 7 different cities, and it's growing slowly by slowly.
I think so. The first time I noticed Jamie's bubble tea was when I went to Labem Mall. It's right in the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we tried to make it the stall, try to shape it like a bubble tea.
Bubble tea can.
And we're proud to say that I think that's the only, we're the first one to do that in the world.
In the
You can
world?
look it up online. A bubble tea shaped stall is first made in Nepal.
The bubble tea guy, Pasang Lama. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to take the
Credit.
the credit. The credit goes to my engineer, my business partner, also Theo Jafar. He's the one who designed it, and he's an engineer. So the concept and everything was by him. We thought out the concept, but he was the one who built it.
Okay.
So he gets the credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of businesses. You've also got exclusive automobiles.
Yes, that's an idea that I've been thinking about. I think everyone in Nepal has been thinking, who's a car enthusiast, has thought about it.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the show called Pin My Ride. It was on MTV. Very.
There's a Bengali guy in that, right?
No, man.
No. This,
Oh yeah. One of the.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, it was kind of dark skin, so I don't know
Yeah.
if it was Mexican or Bengali.
I think so. It's Bengali.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
So I was always amazed of how they transformed an old car into a new car, and this is something I wanted here in Nepal, because Nepal it's full of automobiles cars, but there's not good looking cars. Like there's not a car that what kind of car was that, man? Turn around.
Unless you've got a 3 crore car.
Not even that. Now that's also even one of those cars that comes out. It's the same color, it's the same design. We want something like very unique and really out of this world.
Okay.
So there's a lot of vintage cars that are here in Nepal that are just collecting dust and rust and not running, which doesn't give justice to the car at all. So I met Theo Jafar like 2 years ago when he came here with his ex-girlfriend for a documentary.
Okay.
I was very involved with the earthquake and knew all the people that was involved in it. Yeah, in 2015. They came to end of 2015.
Okay.
To make the documentary of who was involved and what was involved.
Okay.
So I introduced them to the NGO that I work with, Sana Paila. I introduced to a lot of people that was very hands-on involved, and they would just make a documentary. And so in the night we would go out for a beer or two, and he would talk about cars, and he would show me like, I made this car, I made this car, and like that. I thought, oh shit, I like. I've been thinking about that too.
Let's start something new.
Yeah, so we talked. It was just like having beers, going out. So we went out. We partied for I think about a year, and then we decided his girlfriend went back to the US, and then he stayed back. Then we decided, let's take this venture and take a step forward.
So you want to give us a pitch about exclusive automobiles? You want to tell us something? What you exactly do over there?
Well, we are a workshop that restores vintage cars. You know, so far we've done 1966 Ford Mustang, a red Mustang, which we will be coming out exclusive
soon.
rides by Exclusive Automotives episode 1. And I'll be doing it with Sudev as well.
Yeah.
That's coming out very soon, maybe next month.
Maybe.
Right? Then we worked on the Mustang. We're working on the 1965 Mercedes 220 SB. You know, S class. It's one of it's the Mercedes back in the day. You know?
Yeah.
The luxury kind.
And it's super heavy.
Yeah. It is. And then we have we're working modifying a 1990 Defender, Land Rover Defender. You know, completely making it look an old Defender like a new 2017, 18 Defender.
Okay.
That's what the client wanted, so that's what we're giving him. Then we have a 1979 Land Cruiser J80. You know, J80. It's an old car, classic car. I think it's one of the most. If you look up in the West, it's one of the most demanded car. Once you restore it, it has a lot of value. So we have that. Our client just brought that in from Chitwan.
But currently, if you look at it, it's I shouldn't say this, but it looks like a piece of junk right now.
It is a piece of junk. That's our job, to turn that piece of junk into a piece of gold. Yeah.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah. That's the idea. We've just been open for 6 months, and people have heard about us, and they want to bring the car to us. Service, we don't do much. You know, only if friends and families have cars that are not satisfied with the other mechanics, and they bring it to us, and we look at it. You know, but ours is more about the looks of the car, and we work with the mechanics of that old junk. You know, but and then we want that to be in the street and with the Exclusive Automotives logo on it. You know, and when people look at it, they're like, oh,
damn,
that car has been exclusified.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
So you're involved in so many businesses. I mean, I know diversification is good, but then there's a point after which you diversify, you start losing control. You don't get the returns for diversification. So, what do you think?
Well, you should talk to my mom about that. She hates when I put too many hands and too many things. Yeah, she's like, focus on one thing, you know. And that has been my problem. Like my hands all over the place because I want to do. There's so many ideas that you want to work with and do, and like you don't have any time, you know. So that's why I say, like, okay, I started bubble tea. It's working, so I'm just expanding it. This was an idea that Exclusive was an idea that me alone can't do it because I'm not a technical guy. So I met the technical guy, and it was just about a partnership. And that came, we worked together, and he's a nice guy, and it just worked, you know. The movie as well, I like doing it, you know, but in the end, it's business. It has to cash out, right? So the first project didn't work. I do have a lot of concepts in the pipeline that I want to do, but when the time is right, you know, you gotta have the time is right.
Okay.
Now I want to work with, like I'm working with you with the Fistful of Rage. We finished the video. We're gonna make a nice video.
I mean, okay, you are working in so many films, so many places.
Yeah.
So, what's that? When do you know that you need to stop diversifying? When do you know that you have to focus on one thing?
Look, it takes practice, of course. So how I manage it is now I have a business, right? Now, like for instance, the bubble tea, I have a manager. The system I've prepared the system, I've taken over the system, I've put the system in place, right? So all he has to do is look after the system, make sure the system works.
Okay.
and then that's set. Yeah, and with the exclusive, I'm doing the same thing. You know?
Okay.
I have a person looking after it. He has a technical guy, but sometimes I come over, make sure everything's working. You know, you just have to look over it
Okay.
and make sure the everything's placed. Like the cars are coming out, there are no complaints from the customers. You know, and all that.
Okay. Okay. Anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, Sudev.
Okay.
How was your experience with shooting Fistful of Rage?
Okay.
By the way, like how I know Sudev, I just want to introduce. We work out at the same gym. He's a big, he's a big YouTuber, and
Big YouTuber.
and he loves mixed martial art, you know, and he is one of the biggest disciples of Sunday Limbu. So the biggest besides and by and when our interest in mixed martial art got and the interest in filmmaking got us together with the project of Fistful of Rage, which we finished filming, and it's out on YouTube, so check it out. You know,
Did you notice we have done a podcast for 20 minutes?
no,
No, right? It's like, okay, your question.
uh,
How was Fistful of Rage?
how's your experience? Because that was your first kind of movie, short movie that you did, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, before this, I'll tell you why I started YouTube. I'll tell how I started doing YouTube, how I got into cinematography. So, the first time I ever made a video was about, I don't actually remember how I got into YouTube, but I remember a few YouTubers who really motivated me. One was Superwoman. So when I started, I tried to copy her, which was a grave mistake. And then in a few days, I was not happy and I stopped making film. And then all of a sudden, this YouTuber known as Peter McKinnon, he's, in filmmaking, if you search for filmmaking, you'll always see a Peter McKinnon video. And if you look at my vlogs, it's inspired by his vlogs.
Okay.
So the main aim why I restarted this YouTube business, YouTube channel, was because I wanted to become better at cinematography.
Okay.
And then one day I hope I can work with him. Like his work so much. Because he's got something new on the table every time that nobody else has thought about.
I've never heard of it.
Peter McKinnon.
Peter McKinnon. Is he known by he goes by something else?
No, his name is Peter McKinnon. He's a Canadian.
Okay.
And then he's got a few friends who are also great.
Okay.
They're not the most famous guys on the internet.
He's not that guy. PewDiePie. Not PewDiePie guy.
It's not PewDiePie. So slowly, I was really amazed by how he kept slow motions. I never thought you could keep slow motions in that way by keeping music, hyperlapses, and everything. I found it to be very beautiful and a creative way to show your creativity.
Yeah.
So slowly, I started working on my film. I used to make vlogs, nobody would watch it. I used to make vlogs and upload it.
Yeah.
But then at that time, views were not my concern. My concerns were that I would get better at filmmaking. Although it was demotivating that nobody would watch my video, I had to send it to each and every one of them. Only then they would watch it. That's completely another thing. But
no, that's how you start. You promote it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how you start. And then slowly I started getting better and better and better. Now, for 1.5 years, I made vlogs. I learned something new about the filmmaking every day. I don't know everything about it because I'm sure nobody in this world knows. I would consider myself above an amateur and around a semi-pro level. I don't know everything, but I know more than an amateur. So, and then one day I met you. You asked me to make a video about Zigrana.
Yeah, because the ending, the one mistake that I did, the ending I put it in English. You know, the audio in English, and I had recorded in Nepali too, thinking that we might need it in Nepali. And I made a split decision that, let's put it in English and we put a Nepali subtitle. But when I said Nepali subtitle, it was so small and people don't read They're not used to reading. We're used to reading subtitles because we watch foreign movies. They're not reading the subtitles. They just want to hear it. And it was a very big mistake. Everyone liked the movie. People who could understand. People who could understand English, they liked it until the end because that was the climax. But people who didn't understand much of English, they had a problem. The response was, man, it was so good until the end, but in the end, I don't know what happened. It just ended, why did they have to end it like this? They didn't understand.
That was
the biggest drawback of the movie.
And
then I wanted you to explain, how they do it in YouTube. You explain the ending. The ending of Jagrana explained. Yeah. I wanted you to do that.
Even I wanted to make it, but then I'm not so good with my Nepali. I made a video. I looked at my face. I was like, I better not upload this. I thought of doing it again.
Oh, you worked on it?
I worked on it, but then it wasn't good enough. So, and then you asked me about this collaboration thing of exclusive automobiles, of the Mustang.
Yeah.
And then I, in the beginning, was doubtful if I could do that because I'd never done paid jobs before.
Yeah.
Or anything of that sort. But then I always try to learn something new. And for me to be in the unknown, I think so I was quite comfortable to be in the unknown. So when I shot Fistful of Rage, I'll tell you, 80% of the shots that you were telling me, I did not understand them at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that might be the reason why there might be some shitty angles. But then still, I tried and I think so I learned a lot. You taught me about continuity, how you do it in the films, how do you do that action.
Yeah.
Scene, camera, lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. So it's always beneficial to be in the unknown. If you make a mistake, just say it.
No, you're not going to go forward unless and until you make a mistake. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you only grow from your mistakes.
And I've seen a lot of creative people outside of Nepal as well. When I check my Instagram, I look at these guys who take crazy photos, make crazy videos.
Yeah.
And then I want to work with them. It's not about the money. I want to work with them. Yeah. So Fistful of Rage was a great experience for me. Although during the editing, sometimes I would get irritated. Sometimes I wouldn't know what you were asking me to do. I would just guess and then do it. But then still, it was a great experience.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's sometimes I get so passionate when I'm working on, and it was just not with you, with my past editor and my past cinematographer as well. Like I'm so excited. And the thing would be in my head, right, already. So what I would think is, it's already in my head, so I assume that it's in your head too. Then I take a step or two forward, like, okay, we should do this, and then I would like get pissed off that why you're not on the same page.
Okay.
But then I get, maybe I need to explain him. then go forward. That happens to me a lot because I just move.
Maybe that's the reason why you got 2 awards. I mean, great awards.
Well, it's not me. I got the award. It's the cinematographer.
But it was your vision.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
it was your vision. Yeah. I mean, for what I've seen is, after making my own videos, anybody can edit a video. I mean, seriously, anybody can edit a video. Just go on YouTube, or take some local classes. I mean, there's always people who are ready to teach you video editing. You can always learn video editing. It's just a tool. But if you don't have that vision, I don't think so you can make a good movie.
That's true.
If you don't have good content, you can't always make a good video. And that's the reason why I asked you in the beginning, what makes a good movie?
Good storytelling, of course. It starts with the concept. It starts with the story, and then the director and the producer brings the team together. Then the team, it takes a team effort for any job to be done. It's just not one guy.
And it's completely different from vlogging. That's one thing I've seen. I mean,
vlogging is a completely different world.
Yeah.
But they do a great job too. But
they do a great job. But then there's cinematic vlogging as well. But cinematic filming is a completely different genre.
It is.
It is,
It is. I mean, it depends so many. Like, if one department doesn't do a good job, it could ruin the whole movie. You know. So a director has to go to. They have to, like, if editing is being made, he has to go and look at editing. If the editing is being made according to his vision, you know, then he has to go to the music producer, listen to the background score, see if the background score goes well with the thing. If it, all this has to push the movie upward, you know, make it look better. Because if, for instance, our video looked good, right? But if the background score would have been shitty, imagine if that movie played in a sentimental background, and all with the violin, and it just bring down the movie. You know,
Music plays a big
so
role.
when you have a vision, you have to be able to sit down with the background scorer, explain them. Okay, this is a fast pace. We need the music like this. Give them samples. You know, this is how it should sound like. You know, and they will have their own input. You listen to the input. If it's good, you take it. If it's done, you know, it's like, you know,
Just let it be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already half an hour, you know? It's already half an hour.
It's already half an hour.
You don't notice
This is like, you know, having a conversation. It's nice.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's much
It's,
more easier.
it's very thing when you have to look at the camera and then, you know,
it becomes difficult then.
Yeah, then you just look at the camera, you don't know what to say. It's like,
maybe. Okay. Okay, and what do you think about Avengers Endgame's re-release? I mean, they're doing
the Endgame?
Yeah, they're re-releasing the Endgame. You know, yeah, they are. I mean, you know what the reason is? Because they are
They should release the 8th season of Games of Thrones if they're doing that. Endgame was okay. Games of Thrones season 8 sucked big time.
You want to know the reason why they are doing this? Because
they want Thanos to win.
Then that would be great, though.
Yeah.
The reason is because they're not in the number one spot. The reason that I've heard is because they're not in the number one spot in the world's most earning movie. Avatar is number one.
Yeah.
And if you Endgame, even after so much promotion, they're still in number 2. So they're re-releasing Endgame
after Avatar.
Yes. Okay. So they're re-releasing Endgame so that they can take the number 1 spot.
Wow.
And it's crazy, but if you think about it, it's logical.
But it's the same movie.
I think they're going to change the ending.
Or just the ending.
But then if they're going to change the ending, then most probably Iron Man is sure going to die. Because if they bring back Iron Man, then that's going to affect Spider-Man back Far From Home.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man Far From Home...
He's already dead in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's already dead in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or they have to create a completely different universe where everybody is alive and Thanos just dies, and that's the happy ending. What do you think about that? I mean, I find it to be crazy, but then again, it's a new world, so you can do anything you want.
I mean, look, it's for the viewers, I think it's a win-win, right? Because everybody's going to be like, what's the ending? The second ending going to be like? Everybody's going to be talking about it, like we were talking about Games of Thrones, you know. And then it just went down the drain. So it could go down the drain, but still they would make money, and then they will go. Maybe I'm pretty sure there's a number that they have to hit. You know,
that's true.
So do they? I'm pretty sure the revenue from the past Endgame and the revenue from the new Endgame will add together and win the Avatar. No.
But if there are spoilers like they had in Endgame, then I don't think so they'll make it.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll have proper security for that.
How can you secure the viewers' Instagram stories or Facebook posts? Because the reason why it got viral.
Okay, this is I think they're gonna learn from what happened to Games of Thrones. You know, the Games of Thrones, why they messed up the ending was because they wanted to be completely different from what the viewers had guessed.
Okay.
What was gonna happen, right? What these people is going to do is read all those comments and choose the best ending that they've come up, which is different than theirs, right? Choose the best ending, just use it.
Maybe.
And the people who've guessed it, I knew it. Then it would go that, and they will have their own. They don't have to create anything. You know, one thing the filmmakers do the mistake they do is they undermine the viewer's intelligence. They have crazy creativity.
Okay.
The only problem with them is, they have the creativity, they have the idea, they think about it. The only problem, they don't execute it. We're the ones who execute it. We think of the idea and like we don't execute all 100% of it. Maybe like we think like 100 ideas, we only execute what, 2 3, maybe 4, the best ones.
Best ones.
So all they have to do is like, there's so many ideas from all over the world and giving comments that. The audience would be filmmakers, the film enthusiasts, whoever. And all they have to do is pay like 100 people on a payroll, just bring the best ideas. They look over all the comments, and then they get a filter all the good ideas, and then
Make a good film.
bring all the, like, about say 500 good ideas to the producers, and they choose,
They can do that.
right? Then and that's like
Yeah.
that's cutting costs. That's like research and development. You know how expensive research and development is?
That's the main cost.
You're getting ideas from all. It's free.
It's free.
It's free ideas. Just take it,
But it's
and
like
it's up to
living-
you if you want to use it or not. Yeah.
That's like learning from someone else's mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. What do you think about Game of Thrones, man? I mean, how would you like the ending to be? I mean, I've got to.
Oh man, don't even start with Games of Thrones, man.
Yep.
It was such a disappointment. Yeah, have you seen the YouTube videos? All the YouTube videos made about episode 8 is all negative.
Season 8.
Season 8, sorry, it's all negative. It's okay. I'll tell you how it should have ended. They don't have to reshoot. They can make the Game of Thrones again. They don't have to reshoot like the most expensive, like the battles and everything. The only they have to do is like
After episode,
change.
I think so. They just, I don't know why, but although I was not like oh or wow in season 8, I mean, I had that wow factor till season 7, but in season 8, I felt that it was a bit more. I found it to be realistic, to be honest, me personally, because if you look at the whole story, it's always been about murder and taking over the throne. Now they show Daenerys to be the prodigy daughter of the Mad King, and she's making an army. She's working hard, and in real life, hard work pays off.
Yeah.
At the end, she becomes the queen. I mean, that I had in my mind.
No, I'm not going against some of the outcomes that they thought of, which is fine. I'm okay with the Night King being killed by Arya, right?
She
It's
was-
just the way he died, exactly. When the moment when Jon Snow is running towards the Night King, I would have had a nice sword fight between the Night King and Jon Snow. Obviously Jon Snow would be the underdog, and the Night King will bam, bam, bam. Almost the Night King is gonna. Then from the back, some other guy comes, to help Jon Snow, and that character will die, saving Jon Snow, and Jon Snow will, cut the Night King's foot, and as the Night King is going to kill Jon Snow, then Arya comes from the back, and boom, and then Jon Snow does something to distract, and then Arya, then go boom. That would have been because they didn't give a justifiable death to the Night King. The Night King is such a big character. They just ended it like that. They need even the generals. They should have given them a nice death. I don't know what kind of that. Like at least fight. Give them a real
good fight.
Yeah.
20 people against one.
Yeah, exactly. Like a nice fight.
Honorable death.
Honorable death. So the Night King, that's man. Even Daenerys. Daenerys, okay. how would I kill Daenerys? Have you seen the movie The X-Men, where Phoenix goes crazy? The first Phoenix that goes crazy, and Wolverine goes like, you know, like he goes to try to stop Phoenix. Remember?
I've not seen X Men.
You haven't seen the X-Men?
No, I am not that interested in X Men. I only watch Marvel or DC.
Man, X-Men is Marvel.
I know, but the Marvel of that Avengers side, not X Men side.
All right, so you haven't seen it. So there's a scene. Okay, just forget about it because you won't be able to. So we know that Jon Snow doesn't die with. Well, we don't know that he doesn't die with ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how we're gonna do is like Jon Snow is really pissed with Daenerys. She knows that Daenerys is gonna die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they're fighting. He goes against Daenerys,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're fighting against each other. So Jon Snow goes to kill Daenerys,
Mm-hmm.
all right?
Mhm.
The Daenerys sees Jon Snow coming.
Mhm.
You know, it hurts her.
1 second. Oh my god, it's overheating.
Right? You want to cool down for that?
No, it's okay. Let's end it in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Jon Snow, the Daenerys sees Jon Snow coming to kill her,
Mhm.
and it hurts her, but he has to kill Jon Snow.
Mhm.
So he calls the dragon, which is behind her, and he goes, Dracarys, you know, and the dragon goes, right?
Uh-huh.
So people think, oh shit, now he's dead. But Lord behold, the fire doesn't kill him because he's the king of fire. He's also a Targaryen. So he goes, wow, and then kacha.
Okay, that's good.
That would be a nice death for Daenerys, and it would be like, wow, and a blown.
That's good.
So the way Cersei died, man.
When Cersei,
The Cersei, all these big characters, they should have given a really good death. You know,
Mhm.
they deserved a really good death. That's why, like, none of the characters.
They killed Ned Stark in the beginning. Everybody thought Ned Stark would be the king of the Seven Kingdoms, but then they killed him, but they also gave him an honorable death. I mean, not an honorable death, but honorable space. I mean, they gave him some time in the series to die. Cersei died in 15 minutes. Night King died in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so they rushed it sometimes.
No, the writers. Well, I was following all the YouTube videos after season 8, and what everybody was talking about was the writers that they didn't have a book to follow, so they were just writing on their own.
Oh, that's
So when they started being creative on their own, then you really saw how creative they were, and also which was not good. And they were, if you saw George R. R. Martin's old videos, he never liked the fact that the good guy always gets to win. You know, he never liked the fact that if it's a main character, oh, he's never gonna die because he's the main character. You know, he never liked it. He never believed in the fact that this guy, a hero will think forever. You know, and that's exactly what happened in episode 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everybody, even in the war, like all the main characters was living.
Okay.
You know, it was like they were like almost dying, but they were living. You know, none of them died.
Right.
You know, and Brianna and all those characters, they didn't even show in the last episode. So being alive or dead, it didn't mean anything to the episode. You might as well kill them and give them an honorable death. You know, have them fight with one of the generals, kill the general, and they die too, right? And they just forgot about the characters.
It's like you guys are not important, so we are not keeping you in the last episode. You're better off in the corners of the world.
What they're trying to make.
I'd love to.
It was just that's why there was a petition going on to make Games of Thrones episode 8 to remake it, and I think 1.8 or 2 million people already signed a petition. That was like a month ago. And I signed a petition too. I signed my
What
petition.
happened?
I don't know what happened. Like
Okay.
I felt so strongly about it. I sent it.
Okay. I'd love to talk to you, talk with you about this even more, but I think so. A usual video that I make is around 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
we have almost crossed 40 minutes.
Wow. Hey, you can chop it up, man.
No, I want to keep it. I want to keep it in a flow. So let's just stop over here. I'll make another one later on with you, right?
Let's make it one after the Mustang.
Okay, we can do that. We can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is it for my video. I hope you enjoyed
Oh, we
this.
didn't talk about we're gonna make a food blog.
Hey, food vlog
Top 3 by A2P coming up soon.
coming
By
up soon.
Sudev Shah
Yeah.
and Super Sun.
Oh. Oh, okay. So, guys, this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this 40 minutes of podcast. And well, that's Mr. Pasang Lama. He's also known as Sri Pasan, his stage name. Check out Fistful of Rage. It's down in the description below. Follow him on Instagram. Follow Golden Yak Entertainment on Instagram. And I hope you like this video. Share, like, subscribe, like I always say. And see you soon in the next one. Peace.